Hello everyone. In this series, we will cover 25 questions and answers using the same method as in our two previous videos, which cover other sets of 25 questions. Please see the description area for links to those videos and another video titled ChatGPT for Electrician. If this is your first time watching this course, please start with video 1 using the link in the description. In that video, we explain why Tom Henry's Index is essential for your exam preparation. The good thing is you can bring this book to your exam. First, we read the question and identify the keywords. Then, we use Tom Henry's Index to find related keywords and relevant articles in the NEC 2020. After that, we use the same method to find the keyword in the NEC Index, navigate the article and find the answer. Additionally, we will use ChatGPT to find the same answer and related article. We will evaluate how trustworthy ChatGPT is as a reference for electrical exams, homework and daily job site questions and related issues. We also want to evaluate how ChatGPT can tutor you for your exam and electrical courses in a school, college and university. In this series, we also examine calculation questions and compare them with ChatGPT's answers. Without further delay, let's cover the next set of 25 questions to boost your confidence in finding answer in Tom Henry's and NEC Index. My goal is to provide all necessary keywords to help you directly find the answer without too much explanation. To keep this video short, also you can go through the details yourself or get extra help from ChatGPT as a private tutor. See you guys in the question 1. Question 1. In general, for other than dwelling units, all 15 and 20 amp 125 volt single phase receptacles installed on rooftops must be provided with 1. GFCI protection, 2. AFCI protection. Answer is A. GFCI only, B. AFCI only, C. Both GFCI and AFCI, D. Neither GFCI nor AFCI. If we go to find the keywords, we can say receptacles, we can say rooftops, because these are two main points can help us to find the related article. If we highlight what we said, we go highlighted here, receptacles, rooftop. If I go to Tom Henry's Index, we have receptacle rooftops 210.AB, and we go to here to see what is this article talks about. And if the other option probably I should have, if I go to AFCI, in the AFCI we don't have anything related to the rooftop. In the NEC Index, if I go to ground fault circuit interrupters, we see if you navigate through A to R, which is become rooftop in other than dwelling unit, which is probably 2010.8B, what we found here in the Tom Henry's Index. 210.8 is ground fault circuit interrupter protection for personnel, and this is in the B section tell us in the rooftop we should have GFCIs. Then when we go to see about the AFCI, in the AFCI arc fault circuit interrupter 2010-12. If we go to 2010-12 to see what we have here, when you read through, there is no information for rooftop. Then the only acceptable area is rooftop, which is our answer should be 1. Only GFCI protection. Now let's go to ChatGPT to see how we can find the same question with the help of ChatGPT. I already typed the question here. Okay, ChatGPT say number 1, JFCI protection. AFCI protection is generally not required for receptacle install on rooftop. Then what we found is correct. If you want to go further, you can ask, I typed, what is related article in NEC 2020? Let's see what the answer is. 210.ab, which is exactly what we found. If you see in the description area, I create a course ChatGPT for Electrician, and I teach you step by step how to create your account and use the same method we use. See you guys in the question 2. Question 2. Where the motor controller also serves as a disconnecting means, it shall open all A. grounded, B. neutral, C. grounding, D. ungrounded conductors to the motor. If we highlight the keyword here, we should go to the motor control section and looking for disconnecting means. And if I highlight what is the keyword here, we have what we said. Let's go to Tom Henry's index. In the Tom Henry's index, we go to motors, controllers, 430.81. This is the start point for us to looking for answer. If I go to NEC to find related article, I'm going to motor controllers, which is 430-7. In the beginning of the motors article 430, which is a picture of the what we have in the each section, which is really, this is a helpful information for motor controllers 430.81 through 430.90, which is our answer definitely is between this 81 to 90. Then if we're referring to the picture, we are talking about motor control, which is this piece. Now let's go to 430.81 in the NEC codebook. We are part 7, motor controllers. When you navigate through to read through just fast, find the related area, we get to this point, 430.84. Need not open all conductors. The controller shall not be required to open all conductors to the motors. This is not really related to our question because here says not open all conductor, but there is an exception where the controllers serves also as a disconnecting means. It shall open all ungrounded conductor, means phase conductors, to the motors as provided in 430.111. In case you missed this one, if you go to this part 430.111, you get to this point, which is switch or circuit breaker as both controller and disconnecting means. If you read through, which it says here, complies with the 430.111.A2B. In the A section says the switch or circuit breaker complies with the requirement for controllers specified in 430.83, where we came from. Opens all ungrounded conductor to the motor. Then definitely the answer we are looking ungrounded, D. Now let's go to the ChatGPT to see what ChatGPT give us. I already put the information here. Let's see the answer. Which is D, ungrounded conductor to the motor. And this is, I'm not really going to type again which article, which is you can do from your side, But anyway, the definition here, if you need a little more definition, is this requirement ensures that all live conductors, those carrying voltage, are disconnected, which is essential for the safety and proper maintenance of the motor as associated equipment. See you guys in the next question. Question 3. Before demand factors are taken into consideration for commercial buildings, general purpose receptacle loads are to be computed at not less than A 100 volt amp, B 120 volt amp, C 150 volt amp, D 180 volt amp per outlet. If we highlight the keywords, we can go demand factors, we can go commercial buildings, we can go receptacle general purpose, and let's see, after highlighting what we have, I highlighted what I said, then we go to Tom Henry's. We have office unknown receptacle 220.14K. If I go through NEC index, if I go to demand factor, just give me see also loads definition article 100. Then I go next to receptacle section. If I'm go through one by one, A to start in the load section, which is 220.14, and if I go to 220.14 as start of my navigation in the article, we just come to here, which it says other loads, all occupancies. When you read through, you get to this point, which is I receptacle outlet, except as covered in 220.14 J and K, receptacle outlets shall be calculated at not less than 180 volt amp for each single or for each multiple receptacle on one yoke. You can read the definition, what is the J says, what is the K says, based on the except as covered, but we just try to find the area for our answer. Then based on what we found here, the D should be our answer, 180 volt amp. If I go to ChatGPT, I put already the question here. Let's see what's the answer. D 180 volt amp per outlet, and the more description is here, you can go through to read and see if it's correct or no. But as far as the answer is correct and exactly what we read here, except as covered in the 220.14 J and K, receptacle outlet shall be computed at not less than 180 volts amps per outlet. See you guys in the next question. Question 4. Conductors with A THW, B RHW, C THWN, D THHW insulation have a greater ampacity when used in a dry location compared to when used in a wet location. We should go to ampacity because here the only keyword we can find. And if I highlight what we talked is just the ampacity, we go ampacity, and based on this, if we go to the NEC, Tom Henry's really is the same thing as ampacity. If we go to the conductors in the NEC index, the ampacity tables is 310.14 through 310.21, but we know the 99% of what we looking in the ampacity table is 310.16. When I come to 310.16, I just highlight all the wire in the question, which is RHW, THHW, THW, and THWN. And imagine we have one of the wires, for example, 8 gauge wire. In this column, 75 degrees Celsius, we have 50 amp for this wire. One of these wire, we should find the other side to see if we use in the dry location what the ampacity is. The only wire is similar to what we see here is just THHW. If I use the same box here, THHW, which is this wire in the 75 degrees, give me 50 amp, but in the 90 degrees Celsius give me 55 amp. None of these three other wires there is not available in this site. Then the only answer is THHW, which is give me in the dry area more amp than in the wet location. If I back to question, my answers should be D, THHW. Let's go to ChatGPT to see what's the answer from ChatGPT. I already put the question here. And if you read through, which is this explanation, we just get THHW. Answer is because THHW conductor have a greater ampacity in dry locations compared to wet location. And if I summarize, identify the insulation type, we go to THW 75 degrees Celsius because the location was in the 75 degrees Celsius. RHW the same, THW and the same. THHW has both area 90 degrees and 75. Then we find based on the what we have in the column, which is THW and RHW generally rated the same in both dry and wet location. THW and generally rated the same in both dry and wet location. THHW has a higher ampacity rating in dry location 90 degrees Celsius compared to wet location 75 degrees Celsius. Then key consideration is this wire can go in the wet and dry location in two different temperature, and the conclusion is the answer is the same. See you guys in the next question. Question 5. Where a submersible pump is used in a metal well casing, the well casing shall be A, isolated from, B, connected to, C, exothermic welded to, D, none of these. The pump circuit equipment grounding conductor. If we highlight the keywords, which is submersible pumps, or the other option we have well casing, and the main area is equipment grounding conductor, which is we try to find related to this question. And if I highlight what we said, we have these three, we consider these three options, which is generally this help us to find either of the wells or equipment grounding conductor. Let's go to the Tom Henry's index. Submersible deep well pumps, grounding 250.112L section. If we go to NEC, we have pumps. See also fire pump, which is we're not going to fire pumps, and if we navigate through, we have grounding water pumps. These two articles related to all what we're supposed to take a look. Then if I go to the NEC index 250.112, specific equipment fastened in place, fixed or connected by permanent wiring method. If we go through M and L based on what we saw, L says motor operated water pumps, motor operated water pumps including the submersible type, and M says metal well casing, where a submersible pump is used in a metal well casing. The well casing shall be connected to the pump circuit equipment grounding conductor. Then based on what we see, it should connect it to pump circuit, which is B is the correct answer. Let's go to ChatGPT, see what we have. Already put the question here. be connected to, which is again, they referring us exactly to where we found the answer. See you guys in the next question. Question 6. In a healthcare facility, low voltage electrical equipment that is likely to become energized, that is frequently in contact with the bodies of the patients, shall operate on a voltage of A. 10 volts, B. 24 volts, C. 100 volts, D. 120 volts or less if the equipment is not approved as intrinsically safe, double insulator or moisture resistant. If we highlight the keyword, we go to healthcare facility and looking for low voltage electrical equipment, and if I highlight what we said is these two options is help us to find the answer. We go to Tom Henry's, which is Tom Henry's that says healthcare low voltage bodies 10 volt. This is exactly the answer. You can find many of the question in the Tom Henry's. The answer is in the index area, which is, that's the reason I sometimes call it as a cheat sheet. If you take it to the exam, you don't need to go to find other information. But let's go to see this is correct or no. We go to the NEC index, we go to healthcare facilities, and if you go navigate through from A to L section, you find low voltage equipment, which is 517.64b. and let's go to article in the NEC, see what it says. 517.64 low voltage equipment and instruments, which is says equipment requirement has exposed current carrying elements shall comply with one of the following. 1. Operate on an electrical potential of 10 volt or less. This is exactly what we're looking, and the section below B, which is 2, talks about exactly the other part of the question. Then if we back to our question, the answer is A, 10 volt. Let's see what the ChatGPT give us for this question, and I already put the question here. Okay, this is wrong. Let's see how we can fix the issue. I ask what article is your answer's reference. Let's see what the answer by ChatGPT is. It's give me this answer. Based on what ChatGPT gave us answer, I went through this article 517.160A5, which is talks about isolated power system and especially conductor identification, and I try to help ChatGPT to give me the correct answer, and I said what article which ChatGPT refer us talks about isolated power system and conductor identifications, not electrical equipment to become energized in healthcare facility. I think article 517.64 should be the correct area that talks about low voltage equipment and instruments. Please double check your answer. Let's see what the answer should be based on that. And now ChatGPT say you are correct, but let's see what the answer is, which is specifically wrong again. It says, I apologize the confusion. The correct NEC article for low voltage should be 517.64B1, which is, I don't know which one is that. Let me just check what is this article is. If we back to the area, ChatGPT tell us 517.64B1, we go to here and says this talks about B1 talks about power supplies. Power shall be supplied to low voltage equipment from one of the following: individual portable isolating transformer, a common low voltage. They talks about something not related to 24 volts, which is ChatGPT referring us here, and I just make a correction and say your answer is wrong. The answer should be article 517.64A1 and 517.64A2. Let's see what the ChatGPT give us. And it's still referring to that article and give us the wrong answer. That should be the last option. We can say, okay, no, based on this area, the correct answer should be 10 volt, but let's see what the ChatGPT says. I put my question again, but based on mentioned articles, the answer should be 10 volt. Let's see what's this time the answer by ChatGPT. Okay, they find the answer, it says yes, correct, but this is really after 3 times back and forth. But remember one thing I mentioned in my other course when I try to teach how to use the ChatGPT. If you see this area, it says ChatGPT can make a mistakes, check important information. That means in no way you trust the ChatGPT answer unless go to the article to double check what is referring is correct or no. But you have an option to make a correction for ChatGPT. You say here, okay, this is wrong. You say here, you give a feedback to ChatGPT, make a correction in the future. The same thing, I believe here we had the issue in the beginning too when it says 24 volts. Yes, this is wrong too, but yeah, this is also wrong. And this is so far what we have. See you guys in the next question. Question 7. When ambient temperature is not a factor, a size 8 gauge single copper conductor with type FEPB insulation installed in free air will have a maximum allowable ampacity of A. 80 amps, B. 55 amps, C. 45, D. 83. Now, if we highlight where we should go, we definitely should go to the ampacity area, but remember this is installed in a free air. This is different with the table 310.16, which is 3 current carrying conductor and installed in a specific location. Now, let's highlight what we have here. In a free air and ampacity, if we go to Tom Henry's index, we have ampacity free air table 310.17. And in the 310.17, if we go to define the conductor, which is, if you see here, ampacity of single insulated conductor in free air. And the question said for in the beginning, when ambient temperature is not a factor, then we don't need any adjustment for ambient temperature. Now, the FEBP is in the 90 degrees Celsius and the number of the wire was 8 gauge. If we just come down for this column and go right to the column, the intersection, which is exactly, this should be our answer. 80 amp is our answer. If you back to the question, you have A is our answer. Let's go to ChatGPT, see what we have. I already put the question here. Let's make a correction and find the answer. I just asked the ChatGPT, the free air conductor in NEC 2020 is table 310.17 and not the table it's referring us here. Please make a correction to your answer. Let's see what the answer should be. Which is, again, says 83 amp, which is wrong. Let's make another correction. I ask, I believe your answer is wrong. I found 80 amperes. Let's see what's the final result. Okay, just says based on this table, the maximum amperes for the 8 gauge wire is 80. Now the answer is correct, and as a summary, try to make a correction as much as you like, but if you get to the situation there is no correction for ChatGPT, just ignore it and go to the next question. But what is happening, just give a feedback to let's help the ChatGPT in the future update itself, because this is help for everybody, and as we know these are constantly changing, and maybe the new version when it's updated, or maybe the paid version is better than what we getting the answer here. But so far this is work for us because we can double check the reference for the code article, help us to find out ChatGPT is correct or wrong. See you guys in the next question. Question 8. For the purpose of determining conductor field in a device box, a three-way switch is counted as equal to A0, B1, C2, D3 conductor based on the largest conductor connected to the switch. If we highlight the keywords here, the conductor field is one of the keywords, and the other one we're looking for any switch, but we're looking for one single switch or one single three-way switch, whatever we try to find in the article. If I go to highlight what we said here, we're looking for a conductor field A as a one single and three-way switch or any switch. Then we go to Tom Henry's index. We have boxes, yoke or strap 314.16b4. We go to NEC, we have a conductor field, then we have the same boxes 314.16b1 through b5. And if I go to article here, it says device or equipment field for each yoke or strap containing one or more devices or equipment, a double volume allowance in accordance with table 314.16b shall be made for each yoke or strap based on the largest conductor connected to a device or equipment supported by that yoke or strap. Which is for each, if I try to say in the summarize what it says here, if we have a one yoke or one strap, we just count as a two conductor based on the largest conductor. Now if I back to the answer is should be C, 2. But if we summarize based on the NEC, our reference is based on the NEC 2020. The reference is this: each yoke or strap containing one or more device or equipment is counted as a two conductors based on the largest conductor connected to the device or equipment. And the answer is C. Let's go to the ChatGPT to see what the answer is. This is the question, and let's see the answer, which is C is 2. But the reference as specified in NEC table B314.16b1, I couldn't find any related table as it referring us. If I go back to NEC 314.16b1, there is no table as a B1. They probably reference us. The answer is correct, but reference is wrong. See you guys in the next question. Question 9. When determining the required ampacity of the branch circuit conductor to supply a three-phase continuous duty AC, current values given on A. the motor's nameplate, B. table 430.248 of the NEC, C. table 430.52 of the NEC, D. table 430.250 of the NEC, shall be used. For finding the keyword for this question, generally we're looking for ampacity in the motor section, which is branch circuit is one of the consideration, and the other one is three-phase continuous duty AC motor. If we highlight what we really should take a look, we have ampacity branch circuit for generally we go to the motor section because motor section has its own rules. And if I go to Tom Henry's index, the motors 3-phase FLC table 430.250, which is, this is our answer. If you see here in the exam similar to this question, your answer should be D, table 430.250, and you done. You don't need to take a look other location. But if you go to NEC, in the NEC, first we go to branch circuit to find the motors. In the motor section it says motor or individual branch circuit, see motors. Then we should go to motor section, which is in the motors we should go to find, take a look what is the similar to what we're looking, full load current. Again referring you guys to go to see full load current motors. When we go there, and now in the full load current motors 3-phase table 430.250, which is the same, we should, when we back to the answer, we have the same similar table, which is D is correct answer. Now let's see what the ChatGPT give us as an answer. I type the question and it give us a motor nameplate, which is wrong, absolutely wrong. Let me just make a correction and see what the answer is. I just typed, I believe we should find the FLC for 3-phase continuous duty AC motor from one of those tables in question and not nameplate. I tried to figure out if the ChatGPT can find which table. Let's see what the answer should be after this correction. And now it's correct. It says, yes, you are right for determining the required ampacity of a branch circuit conductor for 3-phase continuous duty motor. You should go to the table and FLC from this table, which is correct now. And see you guys in the next question. Question 10. When calculating the total load for a building or a structure, what is the minimum computed branch circuit load in volt amps permitted by NEC for a branch circuit serving an exterior electric sign? A. 1200 volt amps, B. 1800 volt amp, C. 1500 volts amp, D. 2000 volt amps. If we highlight the keywords, we're looking to calculate load for branch, which is we specifically looking for minimum, but the main focus area is a exterior electric sign, which is, if we highlight what we said, we are looking for exterior electric sign and with consideration with the branch, and try to find the load for minimum branch size. If I go to Tom Henry's index based on what we have here, I go to branch circuit signs 600.5a. If I try to find the same information from the NEC index, first I go to electric signs, which is go to the signs electric. Then I go to the signs electric. In the signs we have a branch circuit 214F and 600.5. Then if I go back to the article for 600.5 in the branch circuit, it says the rating. The rating, which is branch circuits that supply signs, shall be rated in accordance with 605 C1 or C2 and shall be considered to be continuous load for the purpose of the calculation. And based on what we see here, continuous load for purposes of calculation, we know whatever is talks about continuous load, we should multiply to 125% or 1.25. We have 1200 multiplied by 125, we get probably to 1500. But let's see this. I summarize what we try to do step by step. Identify the relevant NEC section, which is we go to this area, we went already, and Based on this article, the minimum load for any sign including neon signs and other signs is 1200 volt amp. Consider continuous load requirement, which is, it says article 605C specified that branch circuit supplying signs must be considered continuous load. A continuous load is defined as a load where the maximum current is expected to continue for 3 hours or more. And 4, apply the continuous load. When we apply, which is one minimum load 1200 multiplied by 125, which is the amount for the multiply minimum load by 125%, which is give us 1500 volt amps. Conclusion: therefore, the minimum computed branch circuit load for a branch circuit serving an exterior electric sign is 1500 volt amps. And as I said, the answer is C is correct. Let's go to the ChatGPT, what we can get from ChatGPT. I already put the information here. Let's see what is the answer, which is absolutely wrong, is not 2000 amp, but let's make a correction and figure out what is the answer is. I just typed, but 605C says we have to consider to be continuous load for branch circuit supply signs. Let's see what the answer is. But it still gave me the same 1200 volt amp. Let me make a correction again. I typed, but you didn't consider continuous load. Let's see what the answer should be, which is now the answer is correct and says, given that 605B specified a minimum computed load of the 1200 amp for a branch circuit, and according to the continuous load factor, which is this, the correct answer for the minimum computed branch circuit load for exterior sign, electric sign, consider it as the continuous load would be 1500. But anyway, these are what we consider to make a suggestion for the future of the ChatGPT, and see you guys in the next question. Question 11. Determine the maximum number of size 1 gauge XHHW compact conductors permitted in a trade size 3-inch rigid schedule 40 PVC conduit more than 25-inch long. A21, B19, C14, D18. If we find the keywords to start our navigation in the index area, we're looking for maximum number of conductor for the specific wire, which is compact conductor. Second is this wire should go inside the rigid schedule 40 PVC, and the third one is a 24-inch long, which is we're not looking for nipple, we're looking for a longer than the nipple size. Now if I highlight what we said here, we are looking for this highlighted area. If I go to Tom Henry's index, which is probably is give me, go to the table C1A compact conductor. The only reason I'm using this one as a compact, because the start of the compact conductors start here. But if I, for future reference, whenever you're looking for a compact conductor or conductor, there is a very useful table, which is Informatic Annex C. You can find in the page 70-729 in the NEC 2020 edition. For example, for C11, we have a rigid PVC conduit, schedule 40, and HDPE conduit. These two are the same word by word, but the only difference is here you see like the star. If you go down, they refer you wherever you see a star, where this table is used in conjunction with table C1 through C13, the conductors installed must be of the compact type. And what we're looking in our question, we're looking for rigid PVC conduit, schedule 40, and then we should go, because we're looking for compact, we should go to C.11a. We don't need to go C.11 because this is just the regular conductor, not compact. And if I try to show you the difference is in the C1, this is the table for C1. It says table C1, it talks about conductors. But when we go to the C.11 parenthesis A, if you see here, table C.11.A refer us to the compact conductor. Just memorize this in your mind. Whenever you're looking for compact conductor, we're looking for something different table. Now back to question, and based on what we get here, we should go to the page 794. I am in the 794 if you see here, and I put the question here. We try to match one by one what we read to the table and see what we have. We're looking for a maximum number of some conductor, which is maximum number of conductor. Number one, size 1 gauge, which is the gauge size is number 2, conductor size, XHHW, and if we go to XHHW, see here, we have XHW here, and which is number one gauge. The gauge is here, and conductor size and gauge. Then we have a compact conductor, 3 compact conductors. Now we read the rest. Permitted in a thread size 3 inch, thread size number 3, and we just mark it as a 4. If we go here, you see number 3, thread size schedule 40 PVC conduit. Number 5, which is PVC conduit schedule 40. And finally number 1, XHHW, which is, this is the wire we're looking. Number 1 gauge, XHHW. Then we go to the right and we have the 3-inch conduit, thread size conduit. We come down, the intersection of these two is 21 wire we can put in this conduit. But this is the answer. The answer is A, or what we're looking. Now let's go to ChatGPT, see what we have there. And the answer, which is ChatGPT give us the correct answer, A21, which is, they really, you can go read by yourself, but as far as the C21 is acceptable. Table 1 of chapter 9. What ChatGPT referring us, table 1 of chapter 9. When I go to table 1 of chapter 9, you see here it's refer us to this table, which is not correct. Let's make a correction. I typed, I guess you should refer us to table C.11a for compact conductors and not the table you referred us. Let's see what the ChatGPT answer should be. And I guess they made a mistake referring us to C.11, not C.11a, and that's the reason is 19. Let's make another correction, see what's happening. I just made a correction and said table C.11 is for regular conductors and not compact conductor, which we can put 19 conductors in it. But table C11a is for compact conductors and we have to put it more than 19 conductors. Let's see what the final answer is by ChatGPT, which is now is correct. It says 21 conductor. See you guys in the next question. Question 12. Infrared commercial and industrial heating appliances shall have overcurrent protection not exceeding A. 20 amp, B. 40 amps, C. 50 amps, D. 60 amps. If we find the keywords, we can say infrared, heating, and we're looking for overcurrent. If we highlight what we said, these are three options we should take a look. We go to the Tom Henry's index, we have infrared heating, overcurrent, 422.11c. We go to index and we go from A, B to overcurrent protection, 422.11.c. And if we go to the NEC, we have infrared lamp commercial and industrial heating appliances, which when you read it says shall have overcurrent protection not exceeding 50 amps, which is based on the answer we have is C, 50 amps. If we go to ChatGPT, I put the question here, and 50 amp 422.11f, which is, if I back to the question, 422.11f, here we have 422.11c, which is F. What is referring us here, it says each subdivided load shall not exceed 48 amps, and which is wrong, but we can make a correction and we reference to the what we found here. But I believe you can do from your side, but we know how to make a correction. But the correct answer based on the NEC is 50 amp. See you guys in the next question. Question 13. Class A1, B2, C3, D4 hazardous locations are those in which flammable liquid produced vapors or combustible liquid produced vapors are or may be present in the air in quantities sufficient to produce explosive or ignitable mixtures. The keyword here is a hazardous location, which is based on that we should go to the location 1, 2, 3 to find which one talks about the flammable liquid produced. If I highlight what we have as a keyword, we have a hazardous location, but we take into consideration the flammable liquid, combustible liquid, something like vapor, something like that. If I go to the Tom Henry's index, we have flammable gases or vapors 500.5a. If I go to NEC index, we have hazardous atmosphere article 500, which is based on the which one of those we're supposed to have as an answer. Go one by one to check, and let's go to 500.5a as the Tom Henry's referred us. When we go through and classification of the location, when we read through flammable liquid produced vapor, combustible liquid produced vapor, this is exactly like the question asked us word by word. When we go a little down, we say B, class 1 location. Class 1 location are those in which flammable gases, flammable liquid produce vapor or combustible. This is exactly what we're looking. Then we no longer need to go class 2 or 3 to check those, but our answer is A, class 1. Summary of the class 1, 2, 3 in this sheet you can see from this website, which is class 1 talks about flammable gases, flammable liquid produced vapors, combustible liquid produced vapor in quantity sufficient to explode or ignite. Class 2 is combustible dust. Here we have a gas, class 1. Here we have a dust. And class 3 is easily ignitable fibers or material producing combustible flying. Then you can remember this one. 1 is gas, 2 is dust, 3 is fibers. And just for your information, and let's go with the ChatGPT, see what we have here. The answer is location class 1, article 505b, which is we found it. See you guys in the next question. Question 14. In indoor areas where walls are frequently washed, such as laundries or car washes, metallic conduit and metallic panel boards shall be mounted with A 3/4 inch, B 1/2 inch, C 1/8 inch, D 1/4 inch space between the wall and conduit or panel board when the equipment is installed exposed. The keyword here, we're looking for somehow wet locations and related to laundries or car wash, and we're looking for equipment installation. If we highlight what we have here, what we said here, we have a washed, which means wet location for laundries, and we're looking to panel board or equipment installation. If I go to the Tom Henry's index, I have laundries, wet location, article 300.6d. If I go to NEC, I have a wet location, then I go to mounting of equipment, 300.6d. And if we go to article to see what this article is about, 300.6 is protection against corrosion and deterioration. Then we go to the D section, indoor wet location. If you read through, we have here shall be mounted so that there is at least a 6 millimeter 1/4 inch airspace between it and the wall of supporting surface. And if we go to ChatGPT, I put already the question, and let's see what the answer is. One-quarter inch, 300.60, which is correct answer. See you guys in the next question. Question 15. A branch circuit served by size 12 gauge conductor is A 20 amp, B 25 amp, C 15 amp, D 10 amp rated branch circuit when protected by a 15 amp circuit breaker. If we highlight the keywords, we're looking for branch circuit and rated. And if we highlight what we said, we have branch circuit and rated. We go to Tom Henry index, we have branch circuit rating 210/18. We go to the NEC index to see what we have. We go to branch circuit and we should go to the rating R section. We navigate through A section, B, C, and go to the R, which is rating 210-2, which is referring us to the area, which if we go to code section 210.2 branch circuit rating, when you read through where conductor of a higher ampacity are used for any reason, the amp rating of setting of the specified overcurrent device shall determine by the circuit rating, which is, when we back to the question, the answer is C 15 amp, which is based on what we read. Now if I go to ChatGPT and put the question here, let's see what the answer is. It's 15 amp. When we read through, it probably should be the same. A branch circuit served by size 12 gauge conductor is rated as a 15 amp branch circuit when protected by a 15 amp circuit breaker. According to the NEC 210.24, the rating of branch circuit is determined by the rating of the overcurrent protection device. And this is the explanation what we read. See you guys in the next question. 16. What is the maximum overcurrent protection allowed for the protection of resistant type electric space heating equipment? A 30 amps, B 40 amps, C 48 amps, D 60 amps. The keyword here, we're looking for overcurrent protection device for resistant type electric heating equipment, which is, if we highlight it, we have, this is probably from, if we can find heating element or heating equipment, we can go to the overcurrent protection section to find the related article. Let's go to Tom Henry's index, resistant element heat overcurrent protection device 424.22b. that is exactly what we're looking. Let's go to index from NEC. When we go to a space heating fixed, they ask us go to fixed electric space heating. Then we should go back to the fixed electric space heating. When we go back, we have fixed electric space heating equipment. We go from the AB to overcurrent protection 424.22. If it's not here, we should go 72. If it's not 72, we should go to 82. But based on Tom Henry's, we go 424.22b. If I jump it back, 424.22 overcurrent protection, B resistant elements. When we read, resistant type heating element in electric space heating equipment shall be protected at not more than 60 amp. Then when we back to question, not more than 60 amp is the D answer is correct. Then let's go to ChatGPT. I put the question here. D 60 amp, which is article 424.22a, which is the correct answer. See you guys in the next question. Question 17. Information technology equipment shall be permitted to be connected to branch circuit by a listed power supply cord having a length not to exceed A 10 feet, B 15 feet, C 12 feet, D 20 feet. What we're looking for IT equipment which is related to the branch circuit and probably power supply cord, which is cord can help us to go to the information technology equipment, and branch circuit maybe help us. Let's see what we have. If we highlighted what we said, we have information technology equipment and branch circuit, and also we can say power supply cord. If I try to highlight here, we can say power supply cord also is the other option. And when we go to Tom Henry's index, we have information technology equipment, article 645. This is the beginning of the article, and based on that we can find the answer. Let's go to NEC to see what we have, maybe better than that option. Branch circuit. From branch circuit, when we go from A to I, we have information technology equipment 645.5. Let's go to 645, see what we have. When we go to 645.5, which is what referred us from the NEC, we have branch circuit conductor, which is says it should not less than 125%, but power supply cord, it says power supply cord shall not exceed 15 feet, which is exactly what we have, because here says information technology equipment shall be permitted to be connected to a branch circuit by a power supply cord, which is combination is these two red line is what we have in our question. And when we go, the answer is it should be not exceeding 15 feet, which is B is the correct answer. Let's go to ChatGPT, and I already put the question here. 15 feet, which is article 645.5b1, which is the correct answer. See you guys in the next question. Question 18. Type MI cable shall be supported at intervals not exceeding A. 2 feet, B. 4 feet, C. 6 feet, D. 10 feet. The keyword here is MI cable, and we're looking for supporting. And if we highlight what we're looking for MI cable, and when we go to MI cable, definitely we can find the supporting area. Then I go to Tom Henry's index. We have MI cable definition, which is our journey start from 332.2, but in the NEC, if we go to cables, we just go through mineral insulated metal sheet cable, which is top MI. It says C also here. Then from here we should go to find this article to see what's referring to go. And if I go there, I have mineral insulated metal sheet cable type MI, but here we have a support 332.30, which is this is exactly what we're looking supporting. And when we go to article, we go 332.30, the supporting. It says when you read through, we're looking for this part at intervals not exceeding 6 feet. Then when we back to question, 6 feet is C. The answer is C. Let's see what we have in the ChatGPT. B 6 feet, article 332.30, which is, if I'm not wrong, we are exactly the same article. 332.30, which is .30, yes, and this is the correct answer. See you guys in the next question. Question 19. General use snap switches supplying inductive loads shall be loaded to no more than A 50%, B 60%, C 75%, D 80% of the amp rating of switch at the applied voltage. We're looking for as a keyword snap switch, and if we go to the snap switch, probably we're looking for to find what load we can have in the snap switch based on the switch at applied voltage. And if I highlight what we said so far, we go and say snap switches, and let's go to see what we can find. In the Tom Henry's index, we go switches, AC/DC snap switch, which is 50%. This is exactly the answer we're looking. We can load based on the AC or DC snap switch to 50%. When we back to our answer is A is correct. But let's see what we can find in the article and in the index area. If we go to index, we go to switches. In the switches, if we go navigate through to see what we have, when we just go through, we have a snap. When we get here, we have snap switches, which is we should go now to other location to find snap switches and related the information what we want. Then we go to snap switches, we're looking for rating 404.14. When we go to article 404.14, we have 404.14 rating and use of switches. When we read through, alternative current, general usage snap switch, this is a usage. When we read through, we have B, alternative current or direct current general use snap switch, which is says inductive load, exactly the same word by word for our question. Inductive load not exceeding 50% of the amp rating of the switch at applied voltage. This is exactly what we find in the answer. Let's go to ChatGPT, see what we have. I already put the information. It says 80%, which is wrong, and they're referring us to 404.14b, but as I said, you can go through and make a correction and ask about the article and to find the answer. But anyway, here is we already show how to make the correction or editing the question to get the answer. But as far as the code, what we're looking is 50%, not 80%. The article also is wrong. And see you guys in the next question. Question 20. Direct buried conductors emerging from grate shall be protected by raceway or covers up to at least A. 8 feet, B. 10 feet, C. 12 feet, D. 15 feet above finished grade. If we try to find what is the keyword here, we're looking for direct buried, which is conductors, and if we highlight what we have direct buried conductor emerging from grate, protection, covers up, and these are what we generally looking in the index area. We go to the Tom Henry's index. We have emerging from the ground conductor 300.5 D1. We go to NEC direct burial, then we go to underground feeder and branch circuit cable, which is, if we go to this article to see what it talks about, we have 340.10, which is talks about use permitted and installation. This is not we are looking. Then let's see what else we can find in the index area in the NEC. We have underground service conductor, which is the same reference as a Tom Henry's 300.5 D3. Tom Henry's referred us to D1 as you remember here, but here referring us to D3. Let's see to start our journey from 300.5D to see what is happening in the other area as a 1 and 3, which is D, protection from damage. When we go to the 1, it says, when you read through, it says to a point at least 8 feet above finished grade. In no case shall the protection be required to exceed 18 inch below finished grade. Then the question asks us about at least above finished grade. Then the finished grade is 8 feet. The answer is 8 feet, which is cover up to at least 8 feet above finished grade. Now let's see what the answer is in the ChatGPT. Here says 12 feet. Based on this article, we know is wrong because we read already 8 feet. And here referring us to 300.5 D1, which if I back again 305 D1 to see D1, there is nothing here as a 12 inch, just 8 inch and 18 inch, which is definitely this answer is wrong and need to make a correction here. But anyway, is as I said before, ChatGPT can make mistakes. Check important info. And see you guys in the next question. Question 21. What is the minimum size equipment grounding conductor for a 50 amp branch circuit where the conductors are installed in PVC conduit? A. 12 gauge, B. 10 gauge, C. 8 gauge, D. 6 gauge. Definitely the keywords here is equipment grounding conductor. We're looking for specifically for 50 amp, and when installed in the PVC, we just consider this part too. If I highlight what we said, we have the keyword, we have looking for 50 amp, we just need to know which is supposed to install in the PVC conduit, and we go to the Tom Henry's index. Conductor grounding size table 250.122. We go to NEC index equipment grounding conductor, we go to find, when we navigate through sizing 250.122, and this is the same when we found in the Tom Henry's. And if we go to the article 251.22, size of equipment grounding conductor, which is when you read through, it says shall not be smaller than shown in table 250.122. When we go to the table 250.122, which is we're talking about minimum size equipment grounding conductor for grounding raceway and equipment. And what we're looking in the question is talks about 50 amp branch circuit, which is 20 amp is less, 60 is more, then we should go with the 60 amp. Then the copper size, when we come down, go right, the 10 gauge is what we're looking. The answer is B, 10 gauge. And if we put the same question to ChatGPT, let's see what the answer is. 10 gauge, table 2050.122, which is exactly what we have. And see you guys in the next question. Question 22. Disregarding exceptions, all three-phase 4-wire 480Y 277 volt electrical services require ground fault protection for each service disconnecting means when rated for at least A, 400 amps, B, 600 amps, C, 1000 amps, D, 1500 amps or more. The keyword here should be ground fault protection, and the other area is service disconnect means, and these are extra information we have. Disregarding exception. Then if we highlight what we said, we have ground fault protection, service disconnect means, and if we go to Tom Henry's index, we go to section ground fault protection, service side, which is the question said disregarding exception. This talks about exception, but our start point is 230.95. Then we go to NEC index, we have ground fault protection, then we navigate through service disconnect means 230.95, and we go to article, see what it says. 230.95 ground fault protection of equipment. It says ground fault protection of equipment shall be provided for solidly grounded Y electric services or more than 150 volts to ground but not exceeding 1000 volts face to face for each service disconnect rated 1000 amps or more. Then the answer is C, 1000 amps. When we go to ChatGPT, let's see what the answer is here. Here says the same 1000 amps and related to the 230.95, which is correct answer. See you guys in the next question. Question 23. Determine the conductor ampacity given the following related information. First, conductor R size 500 kc mil copper. Second, conductor insulation is THWN. Third, 8 current carrying conductors are in the raceway. 4, ambient temperature is 125 degrees Fahrenheit. Fifth, conduit length is 50 feet. And 6, insulation is a wet location. And the ampacity should be A, 178.2 amps, B, 199.5 amps, C, 294.6 amps, D, 38 amps. Now, what we're looking here, we're looking for as a keyword ampacity and for copper, which is if we go to Tom Henry's index, we have ampacity for aluminum, which is table T.1016, which is wherever we have aluminum, probably the same location is copper too, and which is in the NEC is the same story, the ampacity. But for this question, when we go to table 310.16, we should find the gauge of the wire, we should find the type of the wire, and based on what we see for a ampacity, then we should have an adjustment. Just remember, this table is more than 3 current carrying conductor, and for specific temperature. I put everything in the single page to go step by step to figure out how we should just solve this kind of the question. Now, this is our question. Like the other question, I put one by one, number 1, 2, 3, and to follow step by step to figure out what we have. The question says conductor are size 500 kc mil copper. Then the conductor is number 1, 500, and we're looking for copper, number 1, which is here. Now, conductor insulation is THWN, which is THWN is this column. Then we are specifically looking for this column and this area. Now, the question says 8 carrying conductor are in the racewear. This table tell us not more than 3 carrying conductors. Then if you see here, they refer you section 310.15c1 shall be referenced for more than 3 carrying conductor, which is I put the same table, this table here, and I just put this is 3 conductor, more than 3 conductors. Then if it's the answer is yes, then we go to this table, which is referred us in the note section. How many conductor? We have 8 conductor. Then we should go into 7 to 9, which is adjustment factor is 70%. Okay. Let's go to the other part of the question. It says ambient temperature is 125 degree Fahrenheit. This table, it says when the ambient temperature is other than 30 degree 86 Fahrenheit, we should go to this table. That means this table, what you try to find it, just is for 30 degrees Celsius, 86 Fahrenheit. If you have different temperature as we have, we should go to another table, which is I put it here, not 30 degrees Celsius, 86 Fahrenheit, then go to this table, which is ambient temperature, give us where we should go. Because our wire is in the column 75 degree here, then we go to this table to 75 degree. Now, what is the ambient temperature in the question? 125, am I right? Is 125 degree Fahrenheit. We go to Fahrenheit 8. This is a Fahrenheit section, this is a Celsius section. Don't confuse this in your exam. 125 is between these two range. Then I put the number 4. Then when we go straight, we have a 0.65. Then we had a 1 adjustment factor for the number of the wire in the top, 70%. Then we have this one, 0.67 or 67%. Then based on what we have, the question says 500 kc mil, and if we go here, what we have here, let me just make it easier to find. If we go straight in this column and come down to this column, the intersection of these two because the wire is in this column. If I come down, we get to 380. This is our answer before adjustment of the temperature and adjustment of the number of the wire. If we had 3 conductors in this temperature, which is 30 degree 86 Fahrenheit, this is the answer. But because the number of the conductor was 8 and it was 125 degree Fahrenheit, then we should use those 2 factors to multiply to this. And when we summarize it here, 500 kc mil THW in copper ampacity before derating is 380 amps, which is we found. 380 multiplied by 0.67 temperature correction and 70% or 0.7 adjustment factor is 178.22, which is the answer is A. This is our answer. Then if we go to the ChatGPT to find the answer, let's see what the ChatGPT give us. And this is step by step what the ChatGPT doing for us. Okay, the answer is wrong, and the confusion for ChatGPT is for 75 degrees Celsius rated conductor, the correction factor at 125 Fahrenheit is 0.75, which is for 125 is not 0.75. As we saw here, for 125 is 0.67. Let's make a correction to see if ChatGPT figure out where did the mistake. I just made a correction here when I said, but for 75 degrees Celsius rated conductors, the correction factor at 125 degree Fahrenheit is not 0.75. It is 0.67. Am I right? Let's see what the answer is. He says you are right and try to make a correction, and yes, the answer is now correct. Anyway, this is what we expect sometime, as he says here, but that's not a big deal. We know what is the answer. We try to double check with the ChatGPT. See you guys in the next question. Question 25. Where a trade size half-inch rigid metal conduit RMC is installed in a class 1 location and a half-inch conduit seal is required, the minimum thickness of the sealing compound shall not be less than A 3/8 inch, B ½ inch, C 5/8 inch, D 3/4 inch. If we highlight the keyword, we have class 1 location, we have seal, and related to keyword can be sealing compound or thickness of the sealing compound. And if I highlight the what we said, we have seal, class 1 location, and thickness of the sealing compound. Let's go to Tom Henry's index. We have class 1 location sealing compound 501.15. In the NEC index, we go to hazardous classified location class 1, as the question said. Then we're looking for sealing, which is 501.15, and if it's not there, we go to 17. Let's go to 501.15, sealing and drainage. When you navigate through, you come to, as the NEC and Tom Henry told us, is which is class 1 division 1 and 2. In this area we have a compound and thickness of the compound. When you read through, this says the thickness of the sealing compound installed in a completed seals other than listed cable sealing fitting shall not be less than the metric designator of the sealing fitting expressed in the unit of measurement employed. However, in no case shall the thickness of the compound be less than 5/8 inch. And this is what we're looking. If we go to answer, it shouldn't be less than 5/8 of, which is C is the answer. Let's go to ChatGPT to see what the answer is. And if you see here, because I have a free version of the ChatGPT, sometimes they give me the timeout or I should regenerate. It depends on the situation. Sometimes you can go through and start to a question and get your answer, but sometimes you cannot. In this case, I prefer to copy this question and I generate a new page, and based on that page I start my question again to see. I can get, probably it doesn't let me because for a long time I connected to the ChatGPT, but let me refresh my page to see what's happening. Again, I put my question and let's see how long it takes to answer. I just stop my recording to see what's happening. Then as soon as I get the answer, I start recording. Okay, I just refresh my page and just start again. And as you see, the answer is wrong. And let me ask which article he referring us. I ask what article you referring to your answer. It says article 501.15 division class 1 division 1 and 2, which is correct article 501.15, and also we just found in the 501.15 our answer, and but the answer should be 5/8, not what the ChatGPT give us. And probably 501.15 C2. Let's see what we have here. 501.15 A, B, C, 2, which is, if you see here, the compound here talks about the temperature, is not C2, it should be C3. Let's just make one more correction to see what it says. I just made a correction and I said based on this information, which is talks about the thickness, and I said referring to this article, which is talks about melting point of compound. Based on the here, if you see, is the melting point of the compound shall not be less than 90 degrees Celsius, 200 Fahrenheit. But I'm asking, this is referring to the melting point and not the thickness of the compound. Let's see what is, if it finds the correct answer. And still 3/4 is wrong, but it says as per the NEC is 5. However, based on the option provided, none of them seems match the NEC requirement precisely. The correct minimum thickness as per the NEC is 5/8 inch. It appears there might be a discrepancy in the answer choice. Let me see, we have a 5/8. We have a, sorry, this is wrong. This is 5/6. This should be 5/8. And if I make a correction here, and if I say 5/8, let's see what the ChatGPT give us. Based on that question, they give us 5/8, which is now the correct based on the what we make a correction in the previous one, but it told us is 5/8 is correct, not 5/6, but this was the correction. And remember, in the course we had before, I told you how you can editing your question, which is my previous question is here, and my new question, which is after editing, is here. This is just handy tools. This is the end of this course, and hopefully very soon we go for another 25 question the same way to make you guys confident when you go to exam to get at least 90% of your question correct and pass in your first try. See you guys in the future. Have a great days. Bye.